bedoel ik.
Okay, so far I have demoed everything on Syllable Desktop, but this is our graphical in-house version of Syllable Server. We have put a graphical environment on top of Syllable Server, but it's all a mishmash of open source package repositories. So the integration is not good enough to release it, but we have been using this in-house for almost a year and a half now. So this is Syllable Server with the ROX desktop. And this is my USB stick with the demo programs again, same as on desktop, terminal. And I showed Peter Paint on Syllable Desktop, an SDL program written in Red System. And here's the very same program in its Linux version. Oh, this is actually called Peter Paint, yes. Here's Peter Paint, and we named it that way to honor our friend Peter Busser, who unfortunately can't be here today. This program is named in honor of his birthday 2 weeks ago. Oh yeah, the SDL configuration is different here. I'm developing this with SDL installed within X11. So when I do this on my development system, I'm getting an SDL window, just like we saw on Syllable Desktop. But this is the SDL version that's in Syllable Server. So this is the SDL that thinks that there is no X11 graphical environment running. So it now takes over the screen. But it's the same Paint program. So now you can see that it can also run full screen. Well, the mouse is acting up a bit.
Yes, I see. No escape. You are missing some.
Oh, here are the edges of the window, because the Syllable Server is running in the full 1024 resolution, but I'm opening a 640 by 480 SDL window. So it has switched to full screen now, but not really full screen, because it is using the window I asked for in the middle of that full screen. But it doesn't know that X is running, so it takes over the screen now. Now the question is how I can get out of this. I'll have to fiddle with the Control-Alt buttons, and I'm not entirely sure in which desktop this is running now. I see. If I do Control-Alt-F7, I go back to the desktop that X11 is using. And that probably means that SDL is running on desktop F8. Yes, the first six desktops are taken by consoles. So the system is started from console 1 here. Console 2 is free for extra logins. And so are consoles 3, 4, 5 and 6. And then console 7, Linux console 7 is as standard used by X11, and then the next free one is F8. So because SDL is now taking the full screen, it's running on console 8, and I can switch back to 7 to get back to X11. And then I have control again outside SDL, and then I can use Control C to stop it. And then because X11 and SDL don't know from each other that they're taking the full screen, you get some weird artifacts. So if I switch to another desktop, it will probably correct itself, yes. So that's the same Paint program running on Syllable Server. And I'm not sure if the development files are installed here. No, I don't have development files here either. So if I do the same search for a bitmap here, I'm not sure if it's available. Oh, ach, the keyboard is misconfigured. Like this, right?
Yeah.
I doubt there's a bitmap on this system, but it still works the same, and it can load a bitmap file if you provide it as a command line parameter. Ah, there's one. Oh, in the portable apps. Okay. Oh, that's actually on the extra fat partition. Well, one is enough. Here. Oh. Oh yeah, it takes a while. Apparently it's a big picture. So it's probably much bigger than 640 480. So it looks like we're only getting the upper left corner. And because everything is already white here, I can't see that I'm drawing in white. I should be able to see it here. Yes, we are actually drawing in white on top of that loaded image.
What kind of image should this be?
Pardon?
What kind of image should this be?
You should know. It's from your portable apps, the one we just found on your system. It's in the fat partition. So switch back to X11, and then I can control C the full screen SDL program again. And then switch to another desktop to redraw the screen.
It's in the portable apps of your USB stick as far as I can see.
Oh!
Yes.
Media server?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, I think it's
No, this is media server, no.
Media data.
No.
USB stick, yes it is.
Oh, this one. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the next ones are in media server. That's your previous Linux installation, media server. And media data is indeed my stick, yeah. And then it was slow then, the search, because it has searched my entire stick. No. Here you see the binding for the C library, but that is hidden in all those other programs. The 0MQ binding is interesting. It does messaging. And here I have a client-server example where you can start the server. And oh, 0MQ is not installed here. Oh no, of course. 0MQ is not in Syllable Server yet. I have it on my development system, of course. And I didn't take 0MQ with me, so I don't have the library now. So that's a bit problematic. So I can't demonstrate 0MQ now, but there's a reply server and a request client. So this implements the request reply pattern. And if you start the server, it starts waiting for messages. And if you then start a client, it will connect to the server and send it 10 hello world messages. And then the server will reply to those hello world messages. So it's a very simple messaging example.
You don't have 0MQ in a fossil repository.
Yeah, but that's source. This is it wants the binary library, and that's not very easily available from Syllable Server. It will of course be built in the next Syllable Server release, but it's not here right now. So you'll have to believe that it does messaging. And normally I would have opened a second terminal window and then start the client. And the second terminal is a separate program, so you can then see messaging between two programs. But it can do it equally well within one program between multiple threads, And you can also, and actually this example is running through a network address, so you can also run them on two entirely separate machines and message over the network. And you don't have to change the program for that, or maybe just to add a network address. That's all. Okay, I do have the other example, the last one, the Gtk binding. And obviously this only runs on the graphical Syllable server and currently not on Syllable desktop. And that's the Gtk test program. Oh, it doesn't run. That's what I get for not testing it on this machine. I've developed it on my machine. And it should basically be the same configuration as here, but apparently it isn't.
Highly portable.
Pardon?
Highly portable.
Yeah, no, it's missing libraries or something. And there's an old Gtk version on here, 2.18.3 or something, because it's installed from Gobo Linux binaries. And that version is only a few years old, maybe 2 or 3 years, but I'm finding quite a few bugs in it. So I'm a bit disappointed that a few years ago there were still so many bugs in Gtk, and this is one of the things that I'm getting on my development system, just not in this configuration. Oh no, it's I'm starting the wrong program.
Okay.
This is an older one. This is actually the new version that I made for this demo. There we are, that's it.
Okay.
So it also checks the Gtk version like the other bindings, but all those version reports work differently. And here you provide a version yourself, and then Gtk tells you if it supports the version you want. So I can't easily get the Gtk version that it finds, but I can test whether it's sufficient. So the Gtk version that it finds is sufficient. Well, this is a very simple example window. It has it opens it creates a window, obviously, and it binds the close button to a close event. You have to do that manually in Gtk, it's not automatic. So there's a binding for the close button, there's a text label on top, then there's a line entry field where you can enter text and where some text is already preset if you want that text as default, or if you want to provide an informational message, so you can overwrite the default text. And then there's a button which is supposed to close the window, but this is going to crash. And this is one of those other weird things. And there is a callback attached to that OK button, and the callback is written in Red System, and it prints the message button push. That's what you see here. But after the callback is executed, it crashes. And that's another weird thing, because if you run this on another Linux distro, we've tried it on Ubuntu and on Linux Mint, almost the same, it just works. So this is another weird thing in the Gtk version on here that's a few years old. So I don't know what it is, but it seems to be a problem in Gtk because it is fixed in newer versions. And because I'm running, everything that's running here is Gtk. The ROX desktop is Gtk, so it can't be a big problem in Gtk, but it is as big that you can't really attach a callback to a button easily.
Should this also run on Syllable desktop?
No, we have no Gtk there. So this I must demo this on Linux. So if I would run this on Ubuntu or something else, then it would simply do button push and keep running, and then you can push the button again. So we have one programmer here. So we have a window and a close action on the close button, we have a text label, we have a line input field, and we have a button with a callback attached that prints button pushed. And then obviously this has been laid out in the window. So there's a layout, but I'm using the Gtk fixed layout. So if I resize the window, it's not going to move with it because this is a fixed layout. I haven't done the dynamic layouts yet. So the binding is still very limited, but this is the kind of stuff that you can do with it. And then also there is an icon attached to this window, and that's the icon that is shown here in the Rocks desktop bar. This is
I was wondering, have you manually put the red logo there? Or?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling now. There's also a window title. So there's a window title, and the other element, the last element, is that there's an icon attached to that window. There's the red icon is attached, and that's being shown in the Rocks bar. Now, if you were to write this program in your favorite programming language, how many lines would it be approximately, do you think?
In Python, maybe 10.
10? To add all those elements? We have a window, we have a window title, we have a close action to the close button, we have a label, an input field, an OK button, and a window icon. And then in the callback you have to print button pushed.
It's not that large in Python. It is not that large in Python, but
okay, I'd like to see that.
Have done some experimenting a long time ago, but I remember it wasn't much lines.
Okay, I'd like to see that code. Here's my code. Here's hello GTK. Well, the license again. We have to include the Gtk binding, and the Gtk binding automatically includes the C library binding. Then you have to initialize Gtk. This is where I check the Gtk version. So it's a strange function where you have to give it the version that you want, and then it tells you if it matches that. So you still don't know which version you have exactly. And this is the callback for the button that you're going to push. So this implements the callback interface for Gtk. And Gtk thinks it's a C function, but it's really a red system function. And to make it meet that interface, you have to tell it that it's a callback, and then it will do it properly. And then you say button pushed, you print that with a new line at the end in Rebel's short notation. And then the real meat of the interface is this. The Gtk View Function mimics a Rebel function that shows a window. The window is where you construct the window, and in there are all the elements that go in the window. The first two numbers are the size of the window, so you can change the window size. You can change the position of the window. Here it says that you want it to be centered on the screen. Here's the title the window gets in the title bar. Here's the icon that is being loaded from a file. The icon for the window is being loaded from a file, so you have to program that as well. Then here starts the fixed layout where you get the main content of the window. And in that are the three elements, the label on top, the input field with the default text, and the button. And because it's a fixed layout, they all have a fixed location. So you have to provide the coordinates. And then the button has a somewhat larger specification where you provide the size for the button, otherwise you get a very small button that's only the size of the text. You provide the text that goes into a label. You have to program all of that in Python or other languages. And then you provide the callback that should be called when the button is clicked. And that's of course this callback that we defined before that, and it's being passed to the button in this way. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lines. That's the bulk of the complete interface specification. And then there's a callback interface of 5 lines or so with 1 printing line.
As far as I can remember, it isn't much slides from Python, but it is some time ago, so can't really...
I'd like to see that code. It's definitely true that you can do it a lot shorter in Python than you can do in low-level languages. But the interesting thing is, this is Red System. This is the kind of dialect that you would expect in Rebel, in the high-level dynamic interpreted language. But this is Red System. This is the Rebel-like C-level language. And this is a Red System dialect that I made this week. So you can actually specify a GTK layout, a GUI specification in a Red System dialect that is not as flexible and not as dynamic as a Rebel dialect, but it's actually a lot like it. So as far as I can tell, this must be at this moment the most concise and the most efficient GTK binding in the world. So if you claim that you can do this in 10 lines of Python, I would really like to see that.
Okay. I will look into it.
Pardon?
I will look into it.
Okay, thanks.
Where is you going to be fired? Do you have lots of time to write it?
I'm working on another department now. On a new job within Gtk.
So you tell them that you are on a silent, so you don't have fun.
I'm a web programmer.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's a pity that I couldn't show 0MQ, but well, that's really the only thing we missed, I think. So this is it. Yabba dabba doo, that's all, folks.
Do you have a connection with the internet?
Oh,
Do you have a connection?
yeah, so?
Okay. Have people already seen Firefox? And, oh no, no.
Yeah, okay, we're running we're running the latest versions of Firefox and Thunderbird and several other applications on Syllable Server. But people don't want to hear about our Syllable Server, so... Well, anyway, we're using it like this. We're using it as our desktop. We're developing Syllable on it, both Syllable Server and Syllable Desktop. And we're doing our daily work on it. We have Firefox 601 here.
Oh, 601.
Auto updated this week because of a security fix, because of the stupid Dutch certificate authority DigiNotar.
So now we can't communicate anymore securely with the Dutch government.
Yeah, this is Firefox 601 that
There you have OS News.
that took out the where do I have?
No, somewhere right in the middle. Further, yes.
But
No, yeah.
we already saw that, didn't we? We saw OS News on Syllable Desktop. Now this is Software Freedom Day I'm going to now. Oh, that's strange.
Yeah.
Oh, it takes a long time. The internet connection is really slow here.
This is not our site. This is .nl.
It's because of the internet connection here. It's slow.
Yes, like this.
Let's see if we have extra comments on our story. Oh, 4 more comments. So I'll look at them at home.
Check what Australia.
It's the interview again. Oh, now we can see the Facebook widget. It's really slow. I can start Firefox at Thunderbird. It's also the latest version, also auto-updated this week to get rid of those stupid certificates.
This isn't the latest. This is my laptop.
Haven't you updated Thunderbird?
No, not yet.
Yeah, okay, but that's just a point version.
Yeah.
So Firefox 601 is updated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just saw it.
Yeah. And the nice thing is that the Mozilla applications are self-contained in their own app directory. So we simply have them in the Syllable applications directory. So they work the same way as Syllable native applications, where we have an app directory for Firefox. See, this used to be 501. It has auto-updated to 6 and 601 by now. And we have Genie here that is installed in a different way as a portable application. But it's just a single, in that way it's just a single file that can be clicked and moved from the Syllable applications directory, so it works the same way as native Syllable desktop applications. Here's Genie. So we're doing our development in Genie now, with all the red bindings and stuff, and our websites and our own content management system.